Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite. And yeah, we're just gonna hop right into where we left off, kind of at the beginning of the Wedding of Rome and Julie chapter. So find out. Are we gonna find out now that Mars is part of it? It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. We got like freaking 10 chapters left, so like, seems weird to have this. Yeah, I guess we just have to be like, hey, wait, they were our main antagonist, rival, like we would at the beginning of a rom com, and then, you know, so we can't resolve that now in this chapter. But anyway. And so, about the new product. Oh, right, we went to Shelby's office to talk about this. All right. Right. Don't look at me like you're about to cry. I'll think with you on revamping the plan. Don't worry. Don't look at me like you're about to cry, but I am! President, he called me with such a stern voice, but he shows me a gentle gaze like he does at home. It's 'cause he loves you. For the first time, I realized he couldn't show any kindness in front of everyone. My eyes water out of gratitude. Hey, this would be me. just cry about everything. Sorry, I shouldn't be crying yet. I have to keep at it. The moment we're alone, I felt so relieved that I couldn't hold the tears back anymore. I really was scared earlier. Everyone suspected me of copying that idea, and I thought I'd lose their trust. I wouldn't be able to stay at Cupid Corps. I was dumbfounded because they doubted my efforts until today. I didn't work hard just for some recognition, but I didn't think they'd doubt my achievements as cheating. But Mr. Snail came to my aid. He didn't doubt me and even defended me. I felt so relieved then. I'll do my best to revamp the plan. Thank you so much for defending me earlier. I bow and turn around to return to my duties, but he grabbed my arm from behind. No need to rush back. I said I need to have a word with you. He pulled my arm and held my head in his chest. What? Wait, what? Oh! I was like, did he just, like, hold me? Yes, he did, because that's what this CG is. Okay. I hate the fact that you, even just to hide the text box, you gotta click the B button a million times to, like... Okay, I get it. Shelby, stop! So, like, okay, I'm sorry. She looks adorable, and it's sad because she's, like, kind of crying, but, like, what kind of resting, beautiful bitch face does he have when he is consoling us? It's like, it's like a model shot. It is like, okay, so I'm gonna need you to look beautiful and sexy while holding her. Like, doesn't it? It literally looks like this is like a photo shoot. Like, I love it. I'm not complaining. He's gorgeous. But I love that it's like, yes, I'm consoling you while looking gorgeous. Like, what is that? Oh, I love it. Anyway. And don't show those people that you're crying. If you want to cry, do it here. But there's no time to cry. It's better to let it out and cry after what happened. I like the fact that he's understanding. Because most people, even... It's just, you're like, oh. And I know it's a weird thing, because, like, you sit there and tell men, you're not allowed to cry. And boys cry, and it's like, oh, what are you, gay? Oh, what are you, a girl? Like, as a man, no matter what age you are allowed to fucking cry. It's not like, oh, once you hit, hey, at, like, age 7, stop crying, everybody. No. Everyone has emotions, and you were allowed to fucking let them out. And sometimes, that means crying. Okay? Crying is like a really good release when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're just stressed out, or when you're happy and you're just like, and there's like a relief moment and you just need to like, sometimes crying is necessary. Okay, look, not everybody cries at every goddamn emotion like I do, but like some people are emotional and we like to cry, okay? Crying is good. And it's stupid that we tell men you can't cry. But it's also stupid that we tell any kind of adult, men or women, that like, you're dealing with a stressful, people are attacking you, blah, 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 and you can't be like, I'm hurt, and you can't cry about it. Crying doesn't make you weak, and that is one of my huge pet peeves. One of the things I hate the most in the world is people assuming that just because you cry, you're weak. No. No, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking weak, but I will goddamn cry like a bitch all the time, okay? Like, I am going to, like, when I will curl up in a ball and cry like there is no tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get the fuck up, and I'm gonna bitch slap some shit, okay? Because that's what we do. Like, but it's okay, but it's, like, stupid, because it's like, oh, crying makes you weak. Okay, but being angry and punching people makes you tough? No, that makes you a dick. It's better for you to just sit in a corner, cry, pick yourself up, and be like, you know what, people suck, and then move on. Than like, oh yeah, punch you in the face. Like, I don't understand how we've done this as a society. Like, well, it's okay if men like get angry and punch things. Totally cool because that's a manly emotion, but crying is stupid. No. Crying is better because you're not physically harming another person and or yourself by punching a wall or something. Like, maybe we should, like, I mean, it's okay to be angry, like, to a point. But if you're getting so angry that you're gonna start threatening people, oh yeah, kick your fucking ass, man. That's a stupid emotion, and we should tell people, like, that's stupid. Just go sit in a corner, cry, and then be like, you know what, it's not fair, you're mean. Cry for a little while, and then be like, psh, prove you wrong, assholes. And then, you know, do better than them. In their face. Anyway, just think it's stupid that we tell people that crying makes you weak, because it doesn't. Everybody needs to cry once in a while. What? Your dog dies, you're not gonna cry? No, I can't cry about it. Yes, you can! You sob like a little baby. Because it's sad. What? The giraffe at the zoo died? You go ahead and cry, it's sad. Poor giraffe. Anyway. And I'm sorry if somebody's giraffe at a zoo died that I just said that, but, like, it was just an example. Anyway. Like, it's been, okay, so by the time you're seeing this, it's like December, but I'm recording this and it's like November, so, like, I'm like a month ahead, and, like, my sister had texted the other day that, like, Winter the Dolphin, if you saw Dolphin Tales and all that, and, like, you've been to the Clearwater Aquarium or whatever, what is it called? This, like, Marine Center or whatever? Anyway, like, you know, she was, like, the little, like, poor dolphin that had to have, like, a prosthetic tail and everything, and it was like, oh, she's sick, whatever, and then it was like she died, and that actually made me cry, and I've never even seen the dolphin in person. I saw the movie, and it was like, oh, and that's actually the real dolphin, and then, like, but that's just like, it's that poor little dolphin, and I don't know why that made me cry, but it did. It's gonna make me cry again. I don't know why. It could just be PMS, because that would make sense. I'm gonna see if I can't tie my shoe later, and if I mess up tying my shoe and I start crying, and it's definitely PMS, but, like, it's still sad. You're like, oh, we being sad about it. The guy was here fixing my garbage disposal, and my sister was texting about it, so I, like, looked up and was reading about it, like she was sick and in critical condition, all this stuff. I was, like, sitting here, like, crying while the guy's I'm like, oh my god, there's something wrong with me. Again, it's probably just PMS, but also, it's sad. It's okay to cry about shit like this, okay? It's just better. Anyway, so, if you need to cry, you just take a break and go cry, but... So we're going to take a break and cry with Shelby. So you know what? Cry with Shelby right now. He's here for you. You know? Anyway, he said it better. Okay. I didn't think that they'd say those things to you. I'm honestly quite shocked. Yeah, you and me both. That's why we're crying about it. And just stay here for a while. I'm sure it's hard to go back right away after what they said. Yeah. But I couldn't continue from there. Tears started to flow, and I gripped tightly at the hem of his suit. This is just adorable, him holding us and letting us cry. It's so cute. Get you a man that's just okay with you crying sometimes. Because, I mean, you're a woman, it's probably going to happen. Or you could be a man. It's also... And anyway, get you a person that will comfort you when you're crying. Okay, regardless if you're a man or a woman. Just... Okay. Not an asshole who thinks you shouldn't cry. President, thank you for coming for me. Yeah. I'm glad that I happened to be there. Me too. Mr. Snail hesitantly patted me on the head. The gentle way he did that caused more tears to flow. You're a hard worker. I'm thankful for that, but I'm sure that causes some coworkers to be jealous. Yeah, like that one bitch. The nail that sticks out gets hammered first, they say. Do they? But it's not your fault. It's just a foolish tendency of human beings. I'm lucky to have an employee like you in this company. You just continue to be who you are. I don't want you to change. Always stay that way for me. Oh. And that's almost like, always stay that way for you, president of the company. It sounds kind of douchey when he comes from that angle. Like, always stay this way and work hard for me. What am I, a robot? It's a weird statement coming from the president of the company, but he's not saying it as the president of the company. He's saying it as a person to another person, a person who kind of loves us. So that's kind of cute. Like, always be yourself. Don't change. Because I love who you are. It's the underlying sentiment. I couldn't hold back any longer. Mr. Snail's warmth causes me to cry out loud. I kind of want to cry, just the idea of being held by him, but in different ways. I tried so hard, but no one acknowledged me. Even so, I wanted to continue matchmaking, because I am Cupid. My instincts and myself as a human being were my internal conflict with one another. We're in internal conflict, not were my. What? Anyway, I saw the my above, I guess. I had the desire to continue trying hard, but I found out that putting in effort doesn't mean it will be rewarded. No matter how much I care about the customers, not everyone will trust me. That's what pains me the most. But Mr. Snail affirmed my existence. He told me not to change. Why is he always able to tell me what I want to hear most? And just cry. I'll be by your side. So nice. President. I have to hurry up and stop crying. Otherwise I can't move forward. Mr. Snail has work to do and I'm getting in his way. Still thinking about him and his work. But right now, I've made an excuse and clung on to him. He's the kind of person that answers emails while eating. But right now, he's by my side. I know, like, enjoy this moment. Shelby, why are you so kind to me? Because he loves you. Because we're cooperating? Because we're accomplices? Because I'm your employee? Or... My heart's overflowing with emotion as I continue to cry, and we're starting to realize that we have feelings for him. It's kind of cute. Throughout that, he continues to pat me on the head. So cute. So cute. I love it. A few minutes later, I'd used up a ton of tissues. That's the statement of my life. I used up a ton of tissues, either because I was crying or because of allergies, but I should have stocking Kleenex. I'm sorry for making a scene. Thank you so much. It's all right. Mr. Snail smiles and returns to his work desk. He then opened his computer. Now let's review the original project plan and rethink a new one. Thank you. But are you sure? How are you doing on time? And this is also part of work, and we've suffered negative effects from Rome and Julie wedding previously as well. We now have proof. After investigating, the article stating that me being a devoted husband is a lie came from them. Huh? Really? Yes. Unfortunately, it came from a competitor in the same industry, and they might be trying to put us out of business. I mean, okay. I guess that makes sense. Like, why is Mars so adamant of going after Shelby? But because we're in his route, right? We're not worried about anybody else. He's trying to discredit Cupid Core because then if Cupid Core goes out of business or we get ruined, then I can't be the top bridal advisor, blah, 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 and prove him wrong. But at the same time, it's kind of like, like, the flaw in the plot here is, well, I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to prove that people can come together without the use of my bow and arrow. So we go and become a top bridal advisor. Wow, bridal did not want to come out of my mouth. In this industry, well, at least in this company, blah, 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 and that should be enough. Like, where else are we going? Like, I need to get one more promotion. And then if Shelby magically promoted us right now, Mars would be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess you were right. Like, you know what I mean? It's a little odd because I feel like she's done enough to prove it. I mean, I get Mars is trying to discredit and, like, get us back and whatever, but I guess his thing, okay. To me, it just seems silly. It's like, she already proved it. Like, what are you trying to do? But then the more I thought about it and talked it out, it was like, oh, okay, I guess it's more like if he discredits the agency we work for and then kind of ruins our chance of promotion, we'll be like, oh, I wasn't good enough. I guess he was right. And then we'll go back and he'll be like, oh, sorry about that. Pat on the shoulder, like, whatever. He's trying to make us not have faith in ourselves and our idea. Even though we already know at this point, she should be like, no, everything I did up until that company came along is proof that it works. Even that company is proof that it works if they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, just because this incident happened doesn't discredit all the work you did previously, but he's trying to make us feel like it does so that we'll go like, oh, I guess I was wrong. What? We're not that stupid. We might be that stupid. I don't know. But like, you know what I mean? Anyway. I still don't know the details on the ones snooping around my home, but it's highly likely they're the same. Yeah, the one snooping around your home is apparently Owen. I hate that Owen is evil, but I love it at the same time. It's unfortunate that they copied this project, but they probably had this planned out. There could be an industrial spy. And then we're going to blame poor Peter. Huh? Oh, yeah, and I watched the intro thing again before I loaded this part, and Minerva and Catherine have 2 different voice actresses, but I'm still not buying that they're not the same person. I'm still a little sus. Unless, like, you know, Minerva's like, I made a robot, or, oh, this is another goddess that I sent down. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Catherine's just very suspicious. Okay? Kind of like how Peter is suspicious. But I'm pretty sure it's, at this point, to me, it feels fairly obvious that Peter is Jupiter. Like, when the game tells me otherwise, like, if it tells me otherwise at the end, it's going to be like, no, that's dumb. My idea's better. This is way better. It's so much better. But, like, the Minerva-Catherine thing could totally just be me grasping at straws. But it just... Something is sus about Catherine is all I'm saying. Like, not in a bad way. Not like Owen is sus in a bad way. I still love him. Catherine is suspicious in a fun kind of way, though. Like, it's gonna be interesting. Anyway. Huh? Yeah. Well, I hope he's not some industrial spy. Owen, planting that information in my brain. We should have known you were suspicious by just, like, your sexy cat eyes. You know, he's just like, I have spy eyes. Got those Cheshire cat eyes going on. Come on. Come on! Little sus. We should have figured that out. I thought of Owen's mumblings and my heart jumped. But Peter's a good person. I don't want to doubt him. But if he was... He can freely enter and leave Mr. Snail's office. He could steal anything if he wanted to. So can Owen, though! But I mean, I guess because Owen's been there for a while, you trust him, which is perfect. In any case, this incident is not your fault. I'm responsible for not stopping them in time. What we should do is go out there and be like, wow, so Rome and Julie, it's amazing that they keep stealing secrets from other industries, and have a bunch of people come out and be like, yeah, we had this idea. And also, we have the documents and the dates and everything. Like, we have the proof that we did it beforehand. And what are they going to do? Come all of a sudden be like, oh, we did it a week before, see? Where's your documentation that proves that? You have nothing. You're just pretending you did it. Because, like, you know what I mean? We have a document that says today... January 1st, it's not, you know what I'm saying, that we did this plan, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, we're going to implement it on January 10th. But on the 8th, they're like, hey, we've got this new plan. We can go, we have all the documentation that shows it's dated this, from emails, documents, contacting the printer. We have a paper trail. Where's your paper trail? We came up with it December 30th. Where's your paper trail that shows that? You know what I mean? Like, you can really dig it. And then if other... companies come forward and say the same thing. Yeah, we had that idea and they still blah, blah, blah. It's going to make them look bad. It's not going to make all of us look bad. Like, perception is a huge part of it. And if every single other bridal company comes forward and is like, yeah, they stole this idea from us and they stole this idea. And oh my God, then it's going to make them look bad. You know what I mean? Us against them, it's going to be like a, oh my God, Cupid, of course, just saying that because like whatever, you know. But like everybody else comes forward. Mob mentality. Anyway. So let's think of a solution together. Understand? Yes, thank you very much. That's right, my role isn't to find the culprit. It's more important to remake this project. You said you already ordered the ingredients. Is it the same as the cooking we ate the other day? Yes, so we can't change the cooking part. I see. But as long as the ingredients are the same, you can still make a different dish. What can be made using the same? Let me check the memos I wrote when I built the project. I take out my phone from my pocket, looking for ideas that I previously thought of. Cat, dog, bird, reading movies, desserts, cooking. Cat, dog, bird, reading movies. A cat, dog, bird, reading movies, desserts, cooking. There's a list of popular hashtags from Instagram. I wonder if I can combine them. Cooking and animals? No, it's unsanitary. And they could eat it. Clearly does not have birds. Like, it's unsanitary. Yeah, well, try to cook with a bird. The bird is always with me. Bird is always there. Bird does not care. You're trying to eat. Bird is standing there running back and forth. Give me, give me, give me. And now the little tiny terror has finally realized that when feeding time is, me sitting here trying to eat my lunch. Bird. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Meals. Food. Okay, here, have a little bit of food. Whatever. Little bird flies over. Are we eating? Oh, fuck. It used to be a pain in the ass trying to eat with one of these assholes around. Now I got two of them again. Oh, good Lord. He just comes over and he's like, hi, are you giving food? Is that what we're doing here? I hate you, but give me food anyway. It's like, fuck. We're creating a monster by making him nice. I don't know. Anyway. That's the worst combination. It kind of is when you're trying to eat and you don't want to share your food. Or you can't have anything with chocolate because the bird tries to eat it and you can't have chocolate, so. You're like, you can't have this. It's chocolate. And he just looks at you like, don't you love me? You will die if I give this to you. That's why I'm not giving it to you. Why do you hate me? Because he doesn't understand. Anyway, cooking and desserts. This is weak. It's just dessert making. There's also cooking and reading? Oh, how about recreating dishes from stories? I mumble that and notice Mr. Snail looking up. Oh, that sounds romantic. Really? Yes, let's look for dishes that can be used with the available ingredients. Mr. Snail searches on his computer for books and cooking. There are lots of articles about famous fairy tales or picture books that recreated food from it. I feel like this would be way harder and they're going to be like, in like an hour, we magically found all, and you're like, there's no way. I can't even figure out recipes with shit that's in my house. And you're like, this is the ingredients I have, and now I want to know what's in a book that contained these ingredients. Is there a database for that? It should be. That'd be interesting. Wow, that looks delicious. Gratin, sponge cake stews. There are picture book illustrations that made me feel excited. This is nice. If they see the picture of the bear with the dish, they would feel nostalgia and possibly join in the campaign. Then this might be a good idea. Our company's plans have been lacking in service for our more introverted customers. And the 5-star difficulty part was good in that regard. If you're mixing in the reading hobby, the basic concept is still the same. The producer of this picture book is also someone we have connections with. It's the same publisher as the marriage magazine. If we can use the pictures as is, it'll be good. And can you cover all the ingredients by recreating the dishes in the book? There's shrimp, bay leaves, apples. Yes, I think it'll work. There are some ingredients that are off, but we can use that as part of the side menu for what's not in the book. And for now, we can proceed in this direction. The designs will have to be redone, though. As for that, I'll go and send another request to the designer. I see. There's not much time left. I'll talk to the PR team and have them quickly send approval. After saying that, Mr. Snail picks up the phone for the internal line to contact PR. And that should do it. Let's just pray that the approval will go well. Some other plan should be drafted in case this doesn't work. Yes! And don't tell... Well, and you know what's even worse? We're gonna be like, oh my god, to think that Peter's the spy because Peter helped us with some of the tasks when Owen was totally the one doing it. Well, from then on, I drafted more points of discussion. Plans for cooking that will look good on Instagram. Plans of eating these dishes while watching a movie. I called the culinary researcher and explained the situation and the change in plans. An hour and a half later, I received a call from PR that we got the approval from the publisher. That sounds like a fine idea. We love Shelby. We'll pursue this format for now. You can relay the information to the planning department and other places, I presume. Yes, of course. I was bawling just earlier, but I already felt much better. My eyes could still be a little swollen, but it should have resolved itself with time. You look much more dignified now. I wish you luck. Yes, thank you, President. Now, if you'll excuse me. I bow and was about to leave Mr. Snail's office. I then noticed a crumpled up wad of paper in the corner of the room. President? That area is really cluttered, but did something happen? Oh, those are for documents to be shredded. Usually Owen takes care of it before it gets full. But he's been busy with his private life as of late. He probably didn't have time for that. What about Peter? Owen said that he's not good enough, so he'll be resigning. What? Really? I thought he said he was really good the other day. I'll shred it for you in his place, then. It's dangerous to have so much paper on the floor. Are you sure? Yes, it'll be quick. The documents to be shredded are overflowing, so there could be a chance that some important documents could get mixed in with it. It's better to put it through the shredder regularly to prevent accidents. That's what I learned when I first joined the company. I crouched down to pick up the documents. After crying and feeling better, I suddenly felt playful by reading through the documents. I'm curious what kind of documents Mr. Snail looks at. There could be some useful hints to revamp the plan. That was the hope, anyway. Sounds a little sus that you're reading through documents you shouldn't be. Normally I shouldn't be doing this, but at the same time there might not be another chance to do so. Maybe there were some rejected plans in there. Save here. I feel like... I feel like, flipping through the documents is gonna get us, like, how dare you, I can't trust you. Bad ending. Because we're supposed to throw it all into the shredder. Wait, I shouldn't be looking at Mr. Snail's documents. I held back my curiosity and desire for mischief and just threw the documents into the shredder. I'll excuse myself now. It's kind of funny that the shredder's right there and he just can't do it himself. I'm just saying. Like, it's like an inch away from you. It's not like it's 2 floors down. I'm just saying. Yeah. So what time are you working until today? I'm on the late shift today, so until 11 p.m. I see. I was thinking of returning at home at 11 p.m. too. Let's meet at my car. Yeah, convenient. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 10. Yeah, me too. Whoops. Thank you. He knows that my commute is longer from the company now, so he says that he'll drive me when he has the time. But I'm sure he's doing it today out of consideration for me. I was so depressed earlier. His subtle acts of consideration make my heart feel warm. I bow again and left Mr. Snail's office. It is so fucking hot right now. It shouldn't be. It's like fucking Fallout, but it's like because I'm sitting and there's like a tiny patch of sun, but then I'm also by my computer and my TV and all my electronics, and it's like, this is like the hottest corner in the living room, and it's like, oh my god, I'm dripping. Anyway, I bow again and left Mr. Snail's office. Oh, okay, so that was a short-ass chapter. Shelby is resolved. So see, you know what I mean? Because like some of them was like they're hour long, but then I was like, there's got to be some shorter ones. So. The days after that passed by quickly. I reworked the new product and switched all of the necessary data. We worked toward the announcement date. Even so, Mr. Snail and I promised to eat dinner together once a week no matter what. This is so that we won't forget that we're currently still living as husband and wife. And then, the new plan, Cooking Matchmaking Picture Book Cuisine, has finished the recruiting period and the date of the events arrived. And they didn't steal this one from you. Thank you for your applications. I'm the top bridal advisor, Spacey Mirror. Cooking Matchmaking Picture Book Cuisine is based off the picture book food in the famous Cooking with Callaway? Anyway, and 3 snakes. I don't know. We've received the support of the publisher, and the picture books are on display by the window. In the next room, we'll also have another picture book exhibit. I'll help you go and view it after cooking. Wow, this brings me back. I love that picture book, especially the part where the butterflies come out and turn the dress blue. Really? I love that book too. Oh, love match. Really nice. Not a lot of people read that book before, so I'm glad to find someone who did. The participants are talking about the picture books and seem to hit it off. Thank goodness, we're off to a good start. I felt relieved as I looked around. This is to check if there's anyone that's alone. There's three people that aren't joined in the conversation. I have to support them when it's their turn to do the cooking. That's my mission as the bridal advisor. These people are here because they made the choice to after all. Everyone, your attention please! The culinary expert's here! Reacting to my voice, the culinary researcher arrived. That marks the beginning of the Cooking Matchmaking Picture Book Cuisine event. I'm very worried about all of the, words in the songs. Ugh. Phew, it's finally over. None of these have gone up yet. They won't go up for another week, so I'm very concerned. I returned to the office at night and hunched over my desk. Fortunately, the Cooking Matchmaking Picture Book Cuisine event ended with great success. The event was limited to only current Cupid Core members, but we might be able to start providing it to others as a special service. If they like it, it can increase the Cupid Core membership. That would allow me to matchmake even more people. I've had a few couples who have later said in the interview that they'd like to start dating. I've told the managing advisors so the couples who are matched will have their statuses changed to dating. The couples will continue dating for a period of time. If they're compatible, it may lead to marriage. I was happy that I was part of this process. Hey there! It was a lot of work, huh? A mug was placed in front of me. Clarice brought me some coffee. Clarice, I think I'll manage. I get up and drink the coffee Clarice got me. I breathed a sigh of relief. So, how'd it go? I heard it was a success. Good for you. Yeah, thanks, Clarice. Seeing my friend's face made me realize that I completed my job. That sense of accomplishment fills my heart. Made me realized. Tim, we're gonna talk about your tenses. This was the first time I built and ran a new plan from start to finish. I really did it. It's too bad that the original plan was taken by Rome and Julie wedding, though. I really wanted to do that one, too. That was the one regret I have. While thinking that, I sensed someone approaching us. You did better than I thought. Good job. Oh. It's the colleague from the planning department that's always antagonizing me. But Clarice stood between us. Listen, bitch, if you're gonna compliment her, you're gonna go through me first! I'm just kidding. But, seriously. Beat her up, Clarice. Are you trying to start something? Clarice glares at her with arms crossed. The colleague from the planning department made an awkward expression and glanced toward me. I'm here to apologize. I did say terrible things to her. I'm sorry. Huh? She apologized to me. My eyes opened widely in surprise, and she bowed to me. I'm sorry I shouted those insults at you. I understood from what happened this time that you really were a hard worker. I looked into Rome and Julie wedding and found out some things. Our plans worked well only because you put in the effort as an advisor. Rome and Julie wedding is doing the same plan as ours, but theirs isn't going well at all. It's not a matter of whose plan is better. It's irritating to me because I have a lot of pride in my work with planning, but I was being immature about it. I'll work hard at my job so that I won't lose to you. I'm sorry for what I did then. I won't lose to you. Yes! Now we have a work nemesis! But we're friendly work nemesis. Nemesises? Nemesi? She bows to me one more time. I realized that I was still sitting down. I frantically stood up. It's all right. Thank you for always putting together some wonderful plans. A lot of the customers do love it, so it's always helpful. I hope to continue having the products from the planning department to help guide our customers to marriage. I held out my hand to shake hers, but then I heard a giant sigh next to me. You're such a softie. And then again, I like how you never hold a grudge. Now you understand how she is. It's a lot more constructive to cooperate instead of being jealous. It seems like it. I'm starting to hate myself for what I did. I now understand I shouldn't think only about myself. I have to work together to protect the company. The weirdest 180, but whatever. Okay, so she's just as long as she, they don't want to be leaving that bitch in the background. What about that planning department bitch? Now she's just planning department girl. She smiles and shakes my hand. I hope we'll continue to work well together. Although when she has a voice like this, she sounds like she's always gonna be a bitch, but that's because she started out being a bitch and whatever. Yes, let's join together. She finally acknowledged me. My heart was filled with warm and fuzzy feelings. I'm not working just to be recognized, but when it does happen, I can get so happy, right? Well, I'll be going now. She said that with a hint of bashfulness before leaving. After seeing her off, Clara smiled. Well, I need to get back to work. Good job on everything, Spacey. Claris's voice is all over the place, whatever. Yeah, thanks for the coffee, Claris. Claris waves at me and then walks off like a model. After seeing both of them off, I felt glad that I could finally get along with my colleague from the planning department. Until now, I was focused only on doing my own thing. It's nice, though, like, she was wrong, and instead of being like, I don't care, I still hate her, that she was like, I was wrong and I was being a bitch. You know what I mean? Good for her. Having connections with others is also important. That's what I've learned as a human. This is something I never would have known as a god. Gods all think that they can do everything on their own. Dad was the epitome of that. Yeah, I mean, still is kind of if he stole your idea and still failed. Speaking of which, I wonder how Dad is doing. Not good, because he's trying to run a bridal thing and this is not working well. Despite how he completely rejected what I wanted to do, there's no sign of him finding me. That's a little worrying. Auntie messaged me saying that Dad wasn't in Celestia recently. Yeah, because he says, I haven't seen Mars around Celestia lately. Do you know why that might be? But if Dad was here, I would know immediately. He doesn't look human at all. If Dad finds me, he'd forcefully drag me back to Celestia. As of now, there's no sign of that. No, he wants to crush your spirit first. Oh well. Anyway, I should just... Oh yeah, the new project! Finally ended! I'm now enjoying the feelings of accomplishment that I achieved for the first time. A few of the members I manage said that they found someone nice there, too. If this goes well, I could guide them to marriage. From your first encounter to your final vows. That's the mission statement of Cupid Corps. Alright, let's do this! I chugged the coffee and turned to my computer. God, like, mouth of steel. It's hot coffee. It's cold coffee. Chug it. I then hear a familiar sound. Chi! Like, see, Chi is like gold and white. Kind of like Peter, and then has the lightning bolt. I'm just saying. I would laugh my ass off if Peter and Chi were Jupiter. Jupiter was everybody. You're like, how many? And then Catherine. Well, Catherine and Peter were in the same place at the same time, so that could be Minerva. It would be so funny. It would actually be hilarious if Peter, like, Jupiter was just, like, 10 different characters, and he's like, I actually was Chi, and I was Peter, and I was Catherine, and I was Claris the whole time. You'd be like, that explains why I never saw any of you in the same place at the same time, but, I mean, Claris and Peter, yeah. I know, but I'm just saying, it would have been funny as fuck. Like, that would have been so fucking absurd. It's actually funny, and, like, totally within the realms of believability when you're playing a game like this, that like, oh, Jupiter's Peter. Okay, right. Got that. Fine. That's up. But then it'd be like, if Jupiter's still Chi. You're like, wait, what? Why are you following me then? What are you doing? That also makes it a little weird. We've used you as a back massager and we sleep with you. But he's also never around. He keeps peacing out, so... Although Chi does have a big frilly white beard, so she could be Mars. I mean, I'm just saying, you just realize now, like, the fur around his neck looks like a big white beard. And, like, his horns are kind of almost the shape of, like, Mars's, like, axe spear thingy. So but that's also weird. That'd be even weirder than she being, like, Jupiter. Like, let's not do that. That's weird. Anyway. Oh, Chi! I haven't seen you in a while. It really has been a while since I last saw Chi. I thought he returned to Celestia while I lived with Mr. Snail, but he was still in the human realm. I missed you, Chi. I pet Chi's fluffy body, and he fidgets around like he always does. I haven't done this in a while. Wait, what's that? There was something in Chi's mouth. It's a piece of paper, so I took it and opened it up. But I do feel weird if Chi was Mars, then why would he be hanging out with us? And like, I feel like Chi is more on our side, but I'm just saying the big beard doesn't help, right? I was shocked at what I saw. It was a piece of a manuscript of an article about Mr. Snail. Shelby's wife finally revealed. That was the title on the article with a big photo. And the one shown there was me! President, please excuse me! I ran into Mr. Snail's office. Luckily, he didn't have any guests over as he was alone, facing his computer. What's gotten you so worked up? I thought your new project went well. I found this article! What should we do about this? I handed the half-written article that she brought to me. Oh, I understand. This is Shelby's resolved chapter. It makes sense. We're gonna find this article, and he's like, I'm resolved to tell the truth that I am not married. Upon seeing that, Mr. Snail's expression turned serious. And this is... Where did you find this? Someone sent it to me anonymously. Well, about that... I love cheese so much. She tries to gesture what he wants to say. He's flying around the shredder, so he could have found it there. It was from the trash can for the shredder. In other words, there's a traitor within our company. No, this must be dealt with first. And this is an article from a publisher which we have no connections with. They wrote other malicious articles. I've sent protests. They probably wouldn't listen. Mr. Snail looks at the article in front of him and thinks. He soon stands up and takes his jacket he had hung on the wall. I'm going out for a bit. Huh? What are you going to do? I'll deal with this personally, but I promise you that it won't affect you. He had a calm gaze over me. I really wondered what he was thinking about. I can't tell what emotion he's feeling from his eyes, but I know that he wants to be considerate toward me about it. That's why it makes me worried. Shelby... I'm sorry for this happening to you. I'll be going now. Don't leave me. Grab him. I reach out to him, but I miss. He slips right by me as he leaves his office. Oh. I have no idea what Mr. Snail intends to do. Although I'm worried, I'm still within my work hours. I return to the office floor to resume my work. I hope Mr. Snail is all right. I'm still worried for him while I work. He's been gone for over an hour, but nothing seems to have happened yet. Yeah, see, so it just means, like, she's handing us that and showing us, like, I got it here at the trash for the thing. You know, is like, he wouldn't be doing that if he wasn't, you know what I mean? If it was, like, Mars in disguise. It's just, he kind of looked like he had a big beard. All I'm saying. Sorry about that. Like, I thought I heard something in the hall, and, like, my groceries are supposed to be delivered in, like, somewhere in the next, like, hour, but I was like, I don't also want to be talking. If I thought I heard them coming, and I was like, wait. If I hear people in the hall, I'm always like, shh, don't talk, they might hear me talking to myself. So, like, because I think it was my groceries the last time I was ranting and screaming about my apartment complex because of my whole, like, insurance issue, and, like, and that's when they came, and then they knocked on my door. I'm like, oh my god, they heard me, like, screaming. Like, like so I was like, I don't want to be dealing with that. Anyway, so what was I saying? I had to stop for a few minutes. So just to, like, like, peek out my door, like, are they here? Like, no, okay. It's probably just one of my neighbors, but anyway, yeah, I mean, it was just, you know, like, I'm just starting to be sus about everybody being other people because, you know, like, there's so many people are other people. Okay, Minerva and Catherine might not be the same person, but I'm going with it until otherwise. Catherine is somehow, like, something's going on with her, right? But, so now I'm just suspicious of everybody, but she wouldn't, it'd be really weird if she was Mars keeping an eye on us, and I don't think he'd be super friendly with us, because Mars has never really been that way, but anyway. Nothing seems to have happened. Okay, no, we read that. My shift's almost over. While I couldn't focus very much, I still summarized the concerns and plans for improvements. Mr. Snail said that he would deal with it, but I was more worried about Mr. Snail doing something reckless rather than if the article went public. He probably went to the magazine company. I hope he's not starting any trouble. I should have insisted on going with him. I'm not his secretary, so that wouldn't have been possible. I kept thinking about that as I worked. Suddenly there was a murmur on the floor. What's going on with this? Something must have happened. I stood up and saw Clarice running toward me with a serious expression. Miss Spacey, this is terrible. The president is doing an emergency press conference. He said that his wife doesn't exist. What? I grabbed Clarice's phone. She was showing me to look at the news playing on the screen. God, I can't read that sentence. It showed Mr. Snail in the middle of a press conference. And that's the reason why I couldn't make the fact public until now. I'm terribly sorry for deceiving many people as a result. He should have just said his wife died. He should have just been, my wife died, and I just didn't want to tell anyone. Jesus, just say I died. And I didn't want to tell anyone. I wanted to grieve in private, and it's only been like a month. So I had I had one of my employees pretend to be my wife for business meetings. This is gonna ruin poor Shelby. Like, you know what it is? It's not even like, it's just all of the people that met me that are gonna be like, you lied to us, dude? That's, you know what I mean? That feels weird. It's not like the public where it's like, oh, well, it's not really any of our fucking business anyway, you know? Where people should be rational. It's the, oh, we're business partners and let's meet your wife. And then you're like, and that wasn't, that, oh, okay. Wow. You know what I mean? That's terrible. We trusted you. Doesn't it hurt your conscience for lying to us? Lying to us all. And I'm sorry for it. I'll seriously consider your reprimands and will apologize for it. And there are many members of my company that were assured from believing that I was a devoted husband. To them, I deeply apologize. That was assured from believing that I was a devoted... Doesn't make any sense. Anyway. So you were prioritizing the feelings of security of your members and refrained from publicizing it? Yes. You really believe you provided a sense of security through lies? Yes. I wanted everyone to be assured and focus on the matchmaking, and that's why I refrained from publicizing it. But continuing this lie is lacking in sincerity, and that's why I've decided on my own accord to make it public now. Again, you should have just said your wife died. She died a year ago, and I just didn't want to tell anyone. Just yeah. But it's so cute because he doesn't want to continue, like, it's kind of adorable. Like, I feel like it was weighing on him the whole time. Like, oh, God, I just don't want to keep lying, but I have to. And he's, like, just dug himself in a hole even deeper. But, like, and also now he just doesn't want us to get dragged into it because he cares about, that's so sweet. You'd ruin yourself and your company for me. Don't, sweetie, don't. We'll just get married. It'll be fine. Look, it's fine. Right? Anyway. But continuing this lie is lacking in sincerity, and that's why I've decided on my own accord to make it public now. I don't know if I just read that. What's the reason for your decision to publicize it now? Because I had a staff member that tried her hardest in helping me through matchmaking in secret. And that staff knew my unmarried status must be kept secret as she provided support. Her consideration was like salvation for me. Aw. However, seeing the sincerity of that staff member, I figured that I cannot continue to live a lie. In considering the staff, I thought that this should not be publicized, but that'd be betraying the members. I'd have quickly denied these misunderstandings, but I was unable to due to the weakness in my heart. This is all my responsibility. I'm terribly sorry. I look at the president on the news, bowing deeply. I was dumbfounded at the sight of him. What should I do? This is my fault. It's because they took that photo of me. He decided to do this to stop that article from being publicized. Yeah. Clarice, what should I do? There's going to be a lot of people contacting us about this. It'll be all over the internet, too. That's what I thought, but everyone seems strangely calm about it. Huh? Clarice points to the customer support section on the same floor. Everyone was calmly dealing with the calls. It's true that the calls are coming in nonstop, but everyone was dealing with it calmly. From the answers that I'm hearing, it seems that it was all prepared beforehand. It looks like they've already heard about it. The web team are also calm about it. I thought there'd be lots of insults thrown online. It's true that the people around us are dealing with the matter on the phones and email calmly. It seems that the only ones that weren't told about it were the people revolving around PR like us. If this is done with the proper preparations before announcing, I guess it's fine. How did he prepare all of this in such a short time? Could it be that he'd been preparing to announce it for a while? He was just holding back on the timing. I must have been the last push that made him do it. I must have been the one last push. What's going on here? I heard shouting that brought me to my senses. I don't think that was Anthony's voice, but it doesn't matter. You're the secretary, so why couldn't you have prevented this? But I wasn't told about this at all. That's not possible. I did all the work to make this company famous by selling him as a devoted husband. You just ruined all my work until now. How are you going to take responsibility for this? Duff. Is Anthony Duff of the It's Anthony Duff of the advertising agency. He took advantage of a live broadcast and advertised Mr. Snail as a devoted husband. He's Mr. Snail's upperclassman from college, and he's with the advertising agency the company uses. He was the one who told Mr. Snail to lie. There are things I don't agree with, but now's not the time to be fighting. Mr. Duff, excuse me, I'm sorry, but we really were not told of the current issue. We're surprised as you are for the press conference. We'll contact Mr. Snail as soon as he returns, so for today, please leave. I tried to tacitly tell him that. Duff looked at me and looked irritated, but he realized that it's useless to keep talking to Owen. I understand. Then I'll come again tomorrow. I'll have Snail explain himself. Duff then glared at Owen and left. I'm sorry. Thank you for that. Yeah, well, you did this, jackass. It's all right, but you really weren't told about it? No, I was out at the time. He so looks like he knows something. Owen then frowned and put his head between his hands. Are you all right? Yes, I've been lacking in sleep recently, so I have these headaches. I'm going to get yelled at again. I have some business to tend to, so I must excuse myself. Yelled at? I was about to ask by who, but Owen had this glassy look in his eyes as he walked away. His footsteps appeared unstable. Owen must really be shocked at the press conference. He's going to get yelled at by Mars, and that's terrifying. She'd be like, when my dad yells at me, it's exactly the same. Oh. Anyone would be shocked if they saw that all of a sudden. I felt like I was being crushed under the weight of my worries as I looked toward the section still dealing with customers. There's nothing I can do here, but I still rack my brain to think about what I could do. I'm home! In the end, there was nothing I could do. I quietly left when my shift was over. But there was no one at home. Mr. Snail still wasn't back yet. After that press conference, I'm sure he's dealing with stuff related to that. Shelby? I called out his name just to be sure and looked around the house. All your stuff's going to be all packed up. Are we going to have to pack our stuff now? I like living in the swanky place. He's not here. Where could he have gone? I thought about the press conference in the evening and it made me worried. Let me try to call him. Right at that time, my phone rang, but it wasn't from Mr. Snail. It was from Owen. Hello, this is Mirror. Mirror? Oh, I'm sorry for calling. Do you know where Mr. Snail went? Huh? Did something happen? I can't seem to contact him after that press conference. And then Owen and I decided to split up and look for Mr. Snail all around Lost York. It's like we're looking for a lost dog. Oh. He's not here either. Pool? His other apartment that nobody knows about? Not here either. Owen is looking through all the floors of the office. I'm going around town where Mr. Snail might be as I headed toward the office. Was that statue always there? I can't find Mr. Snail anywhere. I mean, was it? Was that statue? I don't know if we've ever had the background for Fifth Avenue right here, but I'm just curious if that statue was always there, because all of a sudden I feel like this is new. That's new. Should we be worried? Statues are following us. Oh my god, it's like a Doctor Who episode. Stop. Don't. Don't. Just run away fast. I don't even know much about him. Where would he want to go alone? The more I thought, the more I realized I know nothing. We've lived together for so long. We were nothing but a fake couple after all. A fake marriage. We lived together, but we're still strangers. Even though the life there was fun, it was nothing more than a business relationship. She looks sad. Maybe because that line is sad. But Mr. Snail, Shelby was by my side when I needed someone. When I couldn't cry by myself, he created a place where I could cry. I thought I shouldn't cry, but he told me I should. He affirmed for me what others had denied. That's why I wanted to go to his side. He could be suffering all alone right now. Maybe you should try calling him. He didn't answer for Owen, he might answer for you. I want to tell him that it's not his fault. It may be empty words, but I still want to be by his side. Shelby, please tell me, where could you be? I typically drink at bars. I don't drink at home. Oh. I remember those words he said in a conversation. That's right. He said he drinks at a bar when he wants to relax alone. I researched the bars of Lost York and started looking through them. I feel like that's going to be a lot. I managed to find Shelby drinking alone at a certain bar. Bar loneliness. Of course. Of course. That makes sense. I mean, it absolutely makes sense, but that's why it's funny. Bar loneliness. Oh, God. Shelby! I contacted Owen, telling him that I found him. I then ran to Mr. Snail at the counter. When I approached him, I could tell that he had been drinking for a while. He smelled of alcohol and was in a state I'd never seen before. I've been looking all over for you, Shelby. Are you all right? I sat next to him and ordered a drink as I peered into his face. He finally looked up after a while. Spacey. He seemed drunk as his gaze was slow, but for some reason he smiled. Oh, well, this is where we're going to get all the truth serum out of him. And what brings you here? He shakes his glass and laughs in a troubled way as if it were nothing. He's putting on a facade. I could tell that, so I placed my hand over his. I did that to share my warmth with him. I'm the only one here. You don't have to force yourself to smile. His gaze wavered. Mr. Snail looked down at his glass with whiskey in it and laughed timidly. I'm sorry. He only said that as he takes another sip of alcohol. The drink I ordered arrived then, so I took that in hand. I did previously offer to drink with you if you wanted someone to keep you company. That's right. We clinked our glasses lightly and started drinking together. We drank in silence for a little while before Mr. Snail started to mumble. Did you see the press conference? Press conference? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I saw it at the office with everyone. Right. And today was a long day. He whispered that very, very softly. Mr. Snail then placed his hand on mine as if to ask for help. In times like these, anyone would desire human warmth. That's why I quietly held his hand back. This is adorable. I'm sorry for announcing that without talking to you about it, but time was of the essence then. I had to announce it before that photo went public. With that press conference, that article's now worthless, and their plot has been stopped. But in exchange, my press conference will be written about. I'm sorry. It's because I let them take a photo of me. No, that's just the trigger. I prepared for this announcement for a while. I should be the one to apologize. You did all that to help me. We're definitely going over on this part. Mr. Snail sounds so weak. It's much different from his usual self. Ooh. Right, it's a little unfortunate. It's already a lot of fun. We'll have to redo the contract. God, I want to redo the contract. That's not the right answer. Hold on. We have to save another here. We got lots of, like... Yes. Back. It's alright. I had a lot of fun. No, I'll be alright. It may be strange for me to say this, but I had a lot of fun playing the role as your wife. Really? Yes. I replied with energy, and Mr. Snail smiled slightly at me. I hear the ice in his glass circling about. He takes another sip of whiskey and faces forward again, looking far out into the distance. I see. I enjoyed it too. Oh! Hey. Oh, I guess because if you say, like, we'll have to redo the contract, he's like, oh, it's just a business thing for you. Whereas if you say, like, I had a lot of fun being your wife, he's like, oh, it's kind of a flirty, yeah, it's a better, yeah, okay. I was like, I just want to continue being your wife. See, this is why I'm going to die alone, because I don't know how to do that. How many years have we been playing Otome games and I still don't understand how to talk to freaking humans? I guess it's because I don't know how to talk to 2D people, so I don't know what that means. If I can or cannot talk to 3D people, but... It allowed me to learn what life is like with a wife. Thinking and learning things together was fun. We would fight alongside one another to achieve a goal together. I never knew that it would feel so reassuring when you're not alone. Having you by my side allowed me to make my decision. To tell everything. I don't want to continue aiming for the top while living a lie. Relying on that would never allow me to be a man. You know, you are a man. I hope you realize that. And that's why I don't regret my decision. I'll be fine. He says he's fine, but he doesn't sound it. He said he'll be fine, not he is fine. He's putting on a front again. Because I knew that, I gripped Mr. Snail's hand tightly. Shelby, you told me the other day it's better to cry rather than hold it in. You told me that I can cry because you're by my side. I was saved by those words. It's my turn to help you. While still sitting at the counter, I turned to Mr. Snail. I opened my arms to urge him to come to me. How cute. I'll lend you my shoulder or my arms. We fought together all this time. Please don't put on a facade in front of me. It's okay to cry. Please show me more of your emotions. Spacey. Mr. Snail's gaze wavers. Right. This is what you wanted. He closes his eyes and takes a few deep breaths. After a while, he looks toward me while still filled with sadness. And then I may need your shoulder to lean on. Do you mind? Because he can't walk straight? Because I'm going to guess that's what it is too. Metaphorically and also literally. Not at all. I nod and Mr. Snail puts his head on my shoulder. Oh, do we get a CG of that? We do! It's adorable! He looks so sad and like rumpled, but I love it. Oh! Oh! Oh, we're like overtime. Technically, if you know. We'll see. I was like, we could just stop in the middle of the scene and just stop on the CG, but we'll keep going for another minute or so. The warmth on my shoulder made my heart jump, but I felt happier that he was relying on me. I patted him on the shoulder. He gave me a place where I could cry. This time, I wanted to be the person he could rely on. Spacey, was I wrong? I've lived my life defending my prestige, but I would never do that at the expense of others. But I'm afraid of being forsaken by people. I keep thinking that no one would be interested in me without my prestige. I've never heard him speak with such a weak tone before. He had never leaned on anyone before, but now he's doing that in front of me. The prestige parasite, Shelby Snail. He's a parasite on prestige, making me realize how big of a decision it was this time. Despite that, he still chose to announce it. This is probably to protect me. I wrapped my arms behind him to embrace his head. That's not true. Even without your prestige, at the very least, I still want to be of help to you, Shelby. I know that you're always sincere and earnest toward work. That makes me want to help you. Is that true? Yes, even if it's for the company. Had it not been you, I wouldn't have accepted the offer. I knew that you wouldn't do something I hated, and that we could do this for the company. That made me willing to cooperate. You did this not just for prestige, but for the employees. I could believe that you cared deeply for us. That's why I believed in you. Mr. Snail's throat seemed to quiver. The weight he placed on my shoulder became heavier. President, you've misunderstood one thing. You may not have noticed, but there are many people who respect your whole being. During the incident with the stolen product idea, everyone was moved by your words. That wouldn't be possible unless they trusted you. With the press conference somewhere, some were. Not somewhere. Wow, I can't read. Some were surprised, but no one complained. Everyone was working hard to protect the company. I felt the same way. You always did what was just. This is why all of the employees wanted to be of help to you. We're not after your prestige. Please believe in us. Thank you. It was a whisper that came from deep within. Even now he's holding back tears. Because I knew that, I caressed his hair. Sweet. You won't cry for me? I know what she's saying, but it's also like, cry for me. A man can't cry in front of a woman. That's bullshit. I wouldn't mind. Also, that's bullshit. I mind. He's so stubborn. He's protected his status all alone, so he may have forgotten how to cry in front of people. I hope that he'll cry in front of me someday. Yeah, when you get married, he'll cry happiness. I continued to caress his hair while thinking that. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here. And we'll continue in the next part. This part's a little over, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.